everyone, I'm back with a review of The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. This is a kind of a YA sci-fi book which got a lot of hype, but it seems it's sort of polarizing. People either love it or hate it, and I'm on the I love it side. This is an advanced copy I received, and I just recently finished reading it, and it was amazing. It's a different type of alien invasion, and you don't physically see the aliens other than the mothership has arrived in space, and then the first wave is like kind of like an EMP type strike where all electronics just fail across the planet. So you can imagine the results of that: planes coming down, cars crashing, everything electronic just ceases. Trains, whatever. It wipes out a large amount of the population. Then the second wave hits, and that's the ground shaking and tsunamis wiping out all the coastal cities. The third wave is sort of like a virus delivered by birds, the perfect tool because there is no boundaries for them. They can go everywhere. And the fourth wave is sort of humans or aliens disguised as humans. It gets a bit complicated. But the fifth wave is the wave we don't know what it is, how it's going to hit. Now, this follows our main character, Cassie. At the beginning of the book, she's alone. She's been separated from her brother, Sam. She lost her mother in the third wave with the virus, and her father pretty much in the fourth wave. And she's bound and determined to reconnect with her brother and rescue him. She doesn't know who to trust. Literally, you don't know who is human. It's everyone pretty much out on their own. This book is told from multiple points of view, which I do like in a book. I find that interesting. I like to see things from different perspectives throughout the story. But the confusing thing about this in here is when it does shift, it's usually where the black pages are and a new section kind of starts. So you can anticipate it, but the problem is you don't really know as you start reading whose point of view you're reading. And I found that a bit frustrating because I would often have to go back and start it over again and try and focus really closely to see, wait, whose voice is speaking here? And that got a little frustrating, but again, I still love the story and the pacing of the book. We meet some other characters. One of a major one is Evan Walker. Even though Cassie spends most of her time alone to try to be safe, not knowing who to trust, she does ultimately come to have to trust. I would say have to trust, but to rely on Evan Walker. She gets herself into a pretty sticky situation. He rescues her, but there's that element of trust that she's not too sure about him, and that made for really great tension and stuff. There is a bit of a love interest building in there, and it does take on pretty quick, but again, she still doesn't know if she can completely trust him. There are other characters that I really liked in here. Zombie, it's not his real name. He's a soldier, a young boy, teenager, in training to battle the aliens if they can ever figure out who's who. One of the young soldiers there with him is a boy named Nugget, who kind of takes under his wing, and you'll come to find out who those main characters are. I don't want to reveal their actual names, but I like both of their characters. It was really interesting, that whole side, the training and everything they're put through. It just had a really good overall pacing. It sort of builds towards an inevitable, I think, love triangle near the end. So we'll find out how that goes. So yeah, it was really good. It held my interest. I can't wait to find out what's going to happen in the next book. This is a book I definitely recommend picking up if you're into sci-fi. If you don't want, it's not really heavy sci-fi. Like I said, there's not spaceships per se constantly flying around, other than the one arrival of the mothership early on. It's not that high technology kind of stuff, lasers going off and things like that, but there's that element of survival. It's more of a survival book than anything, and definitely recommend picking this one up. So it's Rick Yancey's The Fifth Wave. I gave this 5 stars. Thanks for watching.